Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and all the core gamers out there. CAJman777 here, welcoming you to episode 22 of Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. In the last episode, we cleaned up all of Elysia. We never have to go back, and we never have to collect any more items in Elysia, except when we get one more beam upgrade, we need to open a pod that will allow us to see all the item locations on the Pirate Homeworld, which we are currently standing on. Unfortunately, we cannot access that yet. As I said, we need a beam upgrade. In this episode, we are going to be going, and I mean literally going, for the best upgrade that we can possibly get coming up, finding the Acid Shield unit. That is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be getting ourselves our next upgrade, the Hazard Shield. Before we get into that, though, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our donators over there on Patreon: Valentine Blaze, MickeyPhorGens, MaddiLeigh, Thomas, Liotos, and Color Craze for their continued support to the channel. So without further ado, we're actually going to take the back route from when we fought Gondreda, and we are going to go all the way back on the train and go exactly where we need to go. We're going the back way. It's much faster to get the items this way as well. And of course, once we get the Hazard Shield, we can then continue going through the rest of the Space Pirate facility. I like this train cutscene. It's very cool. Look at how demonic that train looks. Space piratey and everything. I also like that it's a hover train. Like, it literally hovers, like, from electricity. Why can't our trains do that? I mean, technically we have trains that can do that, but why don't we implement it? Like, that'd be such a cool idea. You wouldn't have to rely on rails at that point. So, let's take this elevator all the way down into the back route. I usually don't take this elevator the back way, but I figured I'd do something a little different for this playthrough, and I'd go the back way. Because it's really cool when you go the back way. So, let's go get ourselves the Hazard Shield. As you remember, we needed Spider Ball to go collect the Hazard Shield, which, of course, we now have, and we can access this Spider Ball track right here. Not sure why that gave me a 50 energy unit. It's not like I needed it. But here we go, using Spider Ball to get upgrades we need, of course. Because this is a Metroid game, and it wouldn't be a Metroid game without getting the proper upgrades. As you can see, there it is, right there. The Hazard Shield. And we're kind of trapped in a room that, you know, I'd like to get a Hazard Shield for. If we actually scan this glass, though, as well, it says routing tower designed to rotate to allow access to different areas. We're going to actually be rotating this tower. Using this, which is really cool. There's an item we can get, and by using the spinners, we can actually line ourselves up to get certain items. So what we're going to do is we're going to line ourselves up so we can get the item over here first, which is a missile expansion. And yeah, so we're gonna just take that all the way. You can technically use bomb hops as well if you wanted to get up here a little faster. It's not too bad. You can just kind of go up, and we're gonna pick up that missile expansion. So super easy, nice missile expansion there. But now we need to go down. We also now, with that, have 75% of all the items in the game. We get one special ending unlocked, but not the special ending, because the special ending is the important special ending. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So now we actually don't have to adjust this middle tower. We will actually have to adjust this middle tower in a moment. What we need to do is we need to rotate the tower properly so it sits on this. And then we need to rotate the bottom portion of the tower as per usual. This one actually rotates the exact opposite way. And of course, just with one more boost ball spin, that tower is going to lock in place, allowing us to get our access to the other side of the room. And with access to the other side of the room, we're going to disable this shield unit. And once we disable this shield unit, some space pirates are not going to like it. And right there it is. We now have it in all of its glory. The Hazard Shield. This is a really cool cutscene, by the way. Like, I love the way it just changes the shoulder blades and it just pops from the shoulders. Now we have octagonal shoulders. Look at how beautiful they are. Well, technically they're hexagons, but look at the beauty. Hazard shield online. But that's not all we have to do. Sure, we got the first upgrade within 5 minutes of this episode, but that's nothing new. Space pirates are not happy. As I stated, they are armored arrow troopers, and they are nasty. They're very evil, and they deflect missiles, as you guys remember from that. But boom! Oh no, that poor arrow trooper. All you have to do, break their armor, fire a hyper missile at them. They're instantly killed. Every time. And with that, it's going to allow us to finally jump into the acid rain. As you can see, now we are glowing. This is the hazard shield in its effect, and at its fullest effect here, and we'll be able to just tap this button. And this will open a door that has more space pirates, because they're evil. And they're just like getting... Oh, hi, how you doing? I forgot you spawned there. Bye-bye. Gotta love the stealth troopers. These guys are nasty. You can't see them initially. You can see them with the X-ray visor. But they do like to block your vision very quickly. Boom! Eat the hyper missile. You too. Eat the hyper... Oh, and that went above his head. I'm a little upset. Oh, well. He'll eat it soon enough. Oh, that's a phase-on grenade. Gotta be careful with getting hit with those, by the way. Phase-on grenades will corrupt you instantly. So I'm just gonna... You're in hyper mode, aren't you? I heard you liked missiles, though, so... I'm happy to oblige. So we got our missiles. We're all set here now. Now, we go back through another room. Because now we're actually walking backwards to where we need to go, which is actually really important. Because this will allow us to get exactly where we need to go for the coming episode here. So, as you remember, there's an ice shield that I blew up a couple episodes back on the door across from me in this room. And that's where we're headed because, as you remember, there was acid rain there. There's also Metroids we have to deal with here, but I say no to that. Okay, get off me, please. I don't like you. You're nasty. You're like giving me hugs, and I don't appreciate the hugs very much, so... Come on, door. Thank you. I don't want to get eaten alive by Metroids here. So, there's a hazard shield here. There's also a Jolly Roger drone just kind of chilling. I'm going to destroy him very quickly. And we're going to head in here. Because as you can see, out here is a bunch of acid rain. Well, we are not affected by it anymore, luckily. But we're going to head down here because I forgot, on the spinner, we can head this way and pick ourselves up another missile expansion. So that gives us a ton more missiles to work with coming up into these next few episodes as well. And we are going to need them for very important reasons. I did not want to lock myself out of that. Go back one more. Thank you. All right. So now let's use this grapple ledge. And now we get to have a little bit of fun coming up here. I really like this room. Also, these crystals. Hyper missile. Just saying. Really nice. Really nice. Really strong. Hyper missile. Like I said, it's super deadly. Space Pirate data deck decoded. Taking the Valhalla. The ship that went down. The vision of our leader is vast indeed. As we prepared for war with the hated Galactic Federation, she decided she required one of their greatest machines to better control her living planet. We then set out to bring an Aurora unit to Dark Samus. Bribes led us to the location of our prize, the battleship Valhalla, crewed with green recruits on a training mission. She was ours for the taking. One of the mightiest ships in the cosmos was no match for the phazon-powered weapons of the Colossus. We rendered Valhalla helpless, then sent raiders to claim our prize. The Aurora was ours. There was to be no mercy for the Federation dogs. At the command of Dark Samus, we jettisoned the crew into the frigid depths of space, leaving the wreck of the Valhalla as a warning to the Federation. Let them tremble before our might. Yeah, Space Pirates getting nasty. They're getting mean, but now we get to have a little bit of fun here. So this room, I like this room a lot. I am going to be grabbing energy units first that are scattered throughout this room for a reason you will see momentarily. But that should be good. So now all we have to do is boost ball. We get to spin some platforms up for us. This does take a while. These platforms do not go far at all. So that's going to activate our first one. Now we head back. Get to activate our second one. I think this one launches me into another Morph Ball bomb slot, which it does. Yep! Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Metroid Hatcher. This thing is tough. Metroid Hatcher. When the head's interior is damaged, its tentacles can be ripped off. Mutation has robbed the Metroid Hatcher of its ability to phase, but has provided it with the hardened outer shell, which can be identical to the attributes as phasite. The shell protects the creature's heart located at the core of its head. The Hatcher's tentacles are quite dangerous and can leech energy from targets they connect to. However, the tentacles are also the creature's weak point. If all of its tentacles are ripped from its body, it will perish. As such, it will attempt to recover the energy by retracting them into its shell while they take damage. While the Hatcher's tentacles are retracted, it is unable to attack. Relying on phase on Metroids, it spawns from its mouth for protection. If the interior of the creature is hit while its mouth is open, it loses its strength. The Hatcher's tentacles can be ripped off if they are pulled at this time. So, there's actually a trick to this boss fight, and there's a really easy way to actually beat this boss, but we don't have the luxury of doing this boss the easy way. We get to fight the Metroid Hatcher the fun way the first time, and that requires blowing up all of his tentacles. As you can see, this thing does a heck of a lot of damage as it spins towards you very quickly. It's very fast. So the focus for the Metroid Hatcher is you want to aim at all of its tentacles. You want to break them so it can't leech off of you. Try not to lock onto the Metroid Hatcher and maybe focus more on its tentacles at a distance if you can. I prefer to stay locked on. That way I can just see the tentacles in the sight at all times as we need to break the tentacles. One more hit on these tentacles. Now his main primary form of attacking is obviously this spinning move here. It's very easy to deal with. All you need to do is shoot his tentacles. And from there, we damage the interior of his mouth, but he is able to spin around with his head, and that is how the Metroid Hatcher takes his damage. Now, once you rip off all the tentacles, you want to focus on damaging the Metroid Hatcher mouth, as you also have phase on Metroids it spawns to deal with. So, focus again, once again, on the Metroid Hatcher's mouth. Go up to its tentacles and tear them off one by one. And that is how the Metroid Hatcher fight is done. Very easy. He also has a really cool theme, which I really like. I kind of want to give it to you guys so you can listen to it. So I'm going to do exactly that. Here you go. I think you guys got a good idea of the Metroid Hatcher's theme. Really cool boss. Really easy boss if you know how to deal with it very efficiently. But it's a pain in the butt if you don't aim at its tentacles, because eventually he'll summon Metroids which is super annoying, especially in a tiny arena like this. Which, you know, never fun. He's going to spin he's going to spin away from me, or toward me, okay, and then he's going to go back into this corner. Activate your hyper mode, blast him in the mouth a couple times, and just get out of hyper mode, and tear his tentacles off. One more to go. This is when the Metroid Hatcher starts getting overly aggressive. He's going to start charging you non-stop, and he's going to be pretty annoying at this point because he moves his tentacle a lot. So try and focus on hitting that tentacle as much as you can in this last form. As you can see, that thing, one spinning hit from the Metroid Hatcher literally does over half an E-Tank. So keeping him at bay is definitely key. Dodge around him when you can literally does over half an E-Tank. That's a lot of damage that you don't want to be taking. One more hit on the tentacle should retract it. Okay, maybe one more. I'm taking a lot of hits here in this Metroid Hatcher fight, but that is okay because he is going down right now. And that is the Metroid Hatcher. Pretty easy boss. So no real big issues there. Fun boss as well. As you can see, his these little creepy spice pirate things are kind of holding it together. But now we can actually use this spinner. You can see there's a spider ball track on the wall. And you can see there's also an energy tank over there. We want that. We want that energy tank. We will have it. Whoop. So we will have that energy tank. We are going to be getting that first. That is like our main priority, is grabbing this energy tank. Gotta do a little bit of a spider ball track to get to this energy tank, but again, not bad. Boss is pretty easy from there. Got a really cool theme, like I said. So, hope you guys enjoyed listening to a little bit of music while I absolutely destroyed the Metroid Hatcher. I know some people who struggle with that boss, but it's really not hard. If you're not good at aiming at the tentacles, that's what kills you all the time. And that's what gets a lot of people killed against the Metroid Hatcher boss fight. But that is it. That is all we needed to do here. We are, I believe, missing 2 energy tanks left in this entire game, which we will be picking up. I know one of them is in Brio, that we are missing, and I believe the last one is somewhere on the Pirate Homeworld, if I'm not mistaken. You know what? I forgot that we have to do this, drop off, and do this one more time. We need to go through the tubes one more time. If we don't go through the tubes, we're not going to get to where we need to get to. Come on. There we go. Can't skip this either. You just see, the camera follows Samus getting launched around in tubes. Alright, now we go this way. Hit this bomb slot, which is going to energize this for us, which is going to obviously allow us to get to the top. But there is a trick that you can actually get to the top if you time things right. I've never really done it, but here we are. Easy spot, and now we get to go to where we actually need to go, which is incredibly important. So we're going to take another little adventure here. But this is a save station, and I know that for a fact. I kind of don't want to save here because we still got some time for this episode. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to call this train, and we're going to start moving into the next area. I'm going to skip this cutscene so you guys don't have to see it, because it's just the same train coming through the gate. Cutscene, and it's pretty obvious what it's trying to do. So we're going to just take this lever, very slowly pull it up, and set it down. So now we're going to the most important area. Technically, this is not the final area in the game we can explore, but it's a very important area nonetheless for picking up a lot of items, because there are a lot of items in this area coming up. So, right now, we should be at, if I'm not mistaken, this should be the mining facility. To research facility. I lied. Let's see, research facility. So, that's great. We can now go there. However, we need to get over here. We need to get to the mining site and transit station 2A. Our first goal is getting to this mining site, so that's exactly where we're going right now. We are going to be going to the mining site because that is technically where our final objective and our last upgrade essentially lies. That's not from a Leviathan Seed boss. This room's so weird. I don't understand why the middle just doesn't turn, but the whole room turns. It's interesting. It's an interesting concept. Now, we don't want to go all the way across this room. We actually want to go down a level. So, you're going to take this elevator back to level 2. Going to use the little bomb slot here. It's not really a bomb slot, just a morph ball hole. Okay. Yes. That would be an issue now, wouldn't it? Going back up to level 3. That would be an issue now, wouldn't it? We have to come through the back side of that door. And that's tricky. There is another way into the mining facility. And we are going to be taking that because we actually do need to go into the mining facility. So let's go back up to level 3. And go through the main door where we are going to have to do some fighting. But that's okay. We now have the hazard shield so we can safely fight in this acid rain. Hence why the first time we went through this room there were no space pirates. This time, however, there are lots of them. Cute. Oh, come on. I heard you liked hyper missiles, dude. I heard you liked hyper missiles. Did that not kill you? Okay. Oh, he's in hyper mode. That would be why. Boop. And goodbye. He's not dead because hyper mode. That's fine. Now he's dead. So as you guys remember, there is a missile expansion, kind of like over here in this room. It's up in this floor. I don't think we can see it from here, unfortunately. But we can walk in the acid rain here now just fine and not care, which is great. But here's what we've got to do. We're going to pull the energy out of this. Doesn't give me a lot, but it's enough to drain the shield. I'm going to try and walk around this. These little creatures are Skritters, and they kind of drop health and ammo. They're occasionally. It's very rare. But that's okay, because we need to go through here. Security lock, of course. Why wouldn't there be a security lock here? As you guys know, we got some stealth pirates to deal with, and goodbye! He didn't kill him. Okay, that didn't kill him. That's fine. He's dead now anyway. I heard you liked my hyper beam. Technically, it's a phazon beam, but, you know. I got him anyway. Should be some crawl tanks coming out now. Got a little, you know, a couple things to fight, you know, nothing too major. They're all going to activate hyper mode, which is easy enough because I can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and the last one's right here, 1, 2, and they're all dead. And now there's more crawl tanks. We like crawl tanks, you know. They're really easy. That's the way we need to go through right there. As you can tell, you know, when the crawl tanks aren't in hyper mode, they're really easy to deal with. But when they are in hyper mode, of course I can't because now I'm corrupted. That's fine. I'm cool with that. I'll just take all the energy that these will give me because these give me a ton of energy all the time. And we're going to end up needing this energy for something later down the line. So, let's scan this here. Space Pirate data. Entry. Purification. Our great leader, with the aid of our captured Aurora unit, has discovered many of Phase's secrets. Dark Samus can now command the living world to send forth Phazon seeds. She was eager to test this new power when we heard the first world to receive this blessing would be our home world. We rejoiced. The seed was sent into the world and quickly made its way. The seed was sent into the void and quickly made its way to our homeworld. Our brethren foolishly tried to repel it, but their efforts were in vain. Once we were as pathetic as them. Now the deed is done, and slowly our homeworld becomes like Phase. Soon there will be 2 living planets, 2 Phazon sources for our great leader to use as she sees fit. Soon there will be thousands of new disciples for her to command. Dark Samus is literally going all throughout this plan here. Dark Samus is one bad Mamma Jamma. I'm going to skip this. It's just going to launch me right to where we need to be. So, I can go up there, or I can drain this, which is what I'm going to do first, because I'm going to drain this. But now we get to go to the mining facility. And the mining facility, let me tell you, is extremely, extremely cool. And I love the mining facility. So, let's scan this. That's not the scan visor. Activate the final train, which is going to take us to the mining facility. And here we go. The mining facility is the smallest facility in the Space Pirate homeworld. It's the smallest area in the Space Pirate homeworld, but we will be dealing with it because there's a lot of enemies here. And there's a kind of like a mini boss fight in here that we'll be getting to in time, but not yet. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, now that we are here in the mining facility, I am actually going to have to call an episode here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. And of course, in the next episode, we're exploring the Space Pirate Homeworld's mining facility. And I guarantee you we're going to find a very important upgrade. So until then, this is CAJ Man 777 signing off. Stay safe, everybody.